Oh my Lord. Free signals. Free game. Free 99. Confused? Let's talk about it. Good day, guys. My name is Roderick. Again, I am the owner of Third Eye Traders. And the reason for this video is because we're going to start going over trading pairs. We're going to start going over and analyzing these pairs and looking at what happened the previous week, and what we're looking forward to seeing happen next week coming. Guys, we think it is a phenomenal idea to be able to do this with us. So thank you for recommending this. We've had numerous people in the comment section asking, hey, can you guys do signals? Can you guys do analysis? So here we are. Now I do want you to keep this in mind. We recommend you speak with a licensed broker or an advisor before investing into these markets. Trading can be extremely risky. Even though we win money, we also can lose money. So we always tell people, do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. This is not no get rich quick scheme. Even though we do get a lot of wins, guys, we do have losses. That's just the reality of the game. But being able to trade with a consistent plan and say, you know what, this is what I'm striving for. This is what I'm looking out for. And so we want to make sure that you understand that, because that is pivotal when learning from us. Now, just give us a second. We're just going to have to warm up. We're going to just take a look at a couple things before we really start going over the things we're seeing. I want to just take it upon myself to really go over some news and stuff like that. So give me 1 second.
Now, before we begin our affirmations, let's take a few minutes to relax your body and mind. We'll begin with a few slow, deep breaths. Each time you breathe in, breathe all the way down into your stomach. Breathe in slowly through your nose and feel your abdomen and lungs expand with air. After drawing in a long, deep breath, allow your breath to flow back out through your mouth. Just let go of each breath, and with it, release any tension or stress you might have been holding on to. Feel your body fill with air, and when you are ready, release the breath. Let it flood out naturally. Feel yourself relaxing as you gradually release each breath. Now, clear your mind as we begin our affirmations. Starting now, I think differently about receiving money. I am deserving of abundance in my life. Money comes to me easily and effortlessly. I am a magnet for money. Prosperity is drawn to me. Money comes to me unexpected.
All right, guys, that's all I really needed to look at, just to kind of see some of the things that we have going on. So when it comes to the financial markets, it's very important for you to understand where we are in this economy. You know, people who say COVID is impacting their country, guys, it's impacting the entire world on a global scale. So, you know, it doesn't really matter. But the world currency, which is the US dollar, which most people know, I'm in the United States, guys. So you'll hear me talk about US denominated access a lot, just because, I mean, that's just where I am. And so when you look at the markets, what's going on here, we're giving a lot of stimulus away. We're printing a lot of money on a global scale. So pretty much all central bankers in the world are doing this, right? And so if you don't know what a central banker is, um guys, just definitely, well, let's go Google that. Okay, so let's do central bank bank definition. Okay, just so you know what that is. So The definition of a central bank is a national bank that provides financial and banking services for its country's government and commercial banking systems, as well as implementing the government's monetary policy and issuing currency. Now, that's kind of weird that it says that. It's only because it's supposed to be a private entity, and so they control pretty much the monetary policy in which is implemented supposedly by our politicians, but they say they're separate. And so this is very dynamic because even when you look at Joe Biden as being the president, you also have to keep in mind who's his U.S. Treasury. And his U.S. Treasury is Janet Yellen. Janet Yellen is a former Fed chairman of a central bank, if you guys don't know. And so we have Jay Powell as the current Fed chairman. But you have to know that they are creating things to inflate on a massive scale. They are trying to push for more stimulus, and the Democrats control the presidency, the Senate, and Congress. So that is pretty much huge. Now, let's go ahead and dive into some of the things that I am looking forward to see. I mean, when you're speaking in reference to gold, guys, my outline has been something similar to this right here, where I am looking on a global scale what the current markets are doing, and I think is very important because um, when we look at this on the global scale, you have to see where we are, and so I think it's really important at this point where we're going to be. You might be wondering, like, what are all these lines I am drawing? And basically, these lines are telling me where price action is being respected. So, what I see coming down the windpipe with gold is so I'm a top down trader. So let's go ahead and start on the monthly time frame, guys, because I don't want to lose any of you. I think that's extremely important when you're trying to figure out how to trade, guys. I have a few videos so far on the channel and what we're looking for. But let's just start top down because I've been looking in gold. I look at gold pretty much all the time. And so when I'm looking at gold, I am looking at, okay, where do I see a strong or a dynamic support and resistance? And so when I look here, I mean, I see here back in 2011, 2012, where price action stumbled at this area. And so I come here, okay, and from this moment, I basically mark my major support and my major resistance here. And I look and I see where price action struggled at. So if you look at, guys, I'm not going to really go into how I analyze trades. I think you can go back and watch this trick, increase our trading account. We have educational videos about trend lines, trend zones, and stuff like that. So you can go and look at that. But what I'm seeing here is, if you notice with gold typically does something kind of unique where it comes to a level and it falls and it comes back to that level, and people like to treat that level on a higher time frame as a level that is not going to be broken. And so what ends up happening is price action revisit these levels again, and then it breaks through. I mean, it happens and happens over and over again. And so I find this level here, this 1800 1900 level, so interesting because people are expecting for the price of gold to continue to fall. But one thing they're not keeping in perspective is that the price of gold is going to continue to rise as long as they continue to inflate the US dollar or our economy. And so this is really important, guys, because we know more stimulus is coming. They're trying to roll out bigger stimulus than a previous stimulus check that just was issued with the $600 per individual. And so you're looking at now they're trying to do $1,400, which is going to basically put it right at $2,000. The issue, which is a $1.9 trillion plan. The issue is people think gold is going to continue to fall down. I have gold is building up some support here, and then we are looking at um, seeing how price has created this. I won't say. I guess you could say a channel. This channel here, um, And so we're actually going to be looking for the upside, guys. I mean, if you look at the price action and what it's going to do, then you'll notice that we're on our way back. I have price, my next target is at 3,000 gold. So that's what I'm actually waiting on. I was able to hop into some trades for the sell. I did tell you guys we were looking for some sells and the podcast. And I also did tell you that our target is $3,000 when it comes to gold. It's just a matter of being patient. Gold is building up some strong support here, and it's just going to take off to the upside. And a lot of people who are thinking that gold is going to slip back all the way down here, you have to keep in perspective what has happened. And what has happened has not benefited our economy in any kind of way that'll lead to gold going back down. Now, when you also look at gold, guys, I think it's very important that you keep it in perspective. In 1971, our currency was removed completely off the gold standard. And so that changed the backing of our US dollar, our DTC. The issue is when it comes to now, is that we know that JP Morgan is rigging the markets. So they've been slapped with hundreds of millions of dollars of fines. And that should goes to show you how much money they are currently making. And they're constantly rigging the markets, right? And so people know that Biden wants a stronger dollar because when they issue these new checks, they want people to be able to buy more with them. And so you can't really buy as much with your US dollars due to inflation and basically the demise of the US dollar losing half its value since the last 10 years. And so this is where I have gold going. Um, let's go ahead and zoom down on a smaller time frame just so you can see what that's looking like. Let's go on a daily, guys. I love to enter from a trading position. So you look here, we have some dynamic support here, and this is what's going to allow us to go back. Should allow us to go back above, breaking this because we've been able to form again this area here, which is acting as a major support. Now, if we do get a little bit more dropping here, I'm thinking it's going to be somewhere along the lines of um, like a something like this, like a wick, and it just keeps going up and it keeps going up and it break test and collect, and we just on our way out. I think this downtrend has been going on for almost 6 months or so, and so we're looking for some bullish momentum to happen. And so if you want to know what I'm looking for, this is exactly what I'm looking for. And so we're gonna continue to monitor this. I did close my selling position Friday, and so that was really really good. I was in two positions. I was in this and I was in US30, and I was able to collect a little bit under $3,000. So I thought that was a pretty decent week for me. Let's go ahead and maneuver to silver. Silver has been really showing out, guys. I mean, just on a huge scale. And I think what you have to keep in mind when it comes to silver, and again, let's start from the top. What you got to keep in mind with silver is so cheap in comparison to gold. I mean, it hasn't been this way since, I don't know, maybe about 60, 70 years. So this is a really once in a lifetime trade of what you're looking at when it comes to silver. I do see a lot of momentum here, and now that price action has been able to break out of this level, we're seeing some bullish momentum, and I think we're going to continue to see more bullish momentum to the upside just because of what they're doing. You look at the Green Deal in terms of the things they are implementing in the economy. Biden believes in trying to restore, of course, our economy, provide more jobs, and so you have to look at silver functionality. A lot of excuse me, factories and companies, they use silver, and so silver is really 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 important. I think we're going to really see silver really take off a little bit more as we continue to go into the week. I mean, this is the next target, and so I think this is so phenomenal, right? This key level here is because this is where price action also come to back in 2011. And so I think price we've seen the bull run in gold. Okay, and gold was just so phenomenal last year, but I think this is the year that silver is just gonna go, I mean, bizarre, right? It's gonna go berserk. And so when you looking at that, I'm seeing silver coming back up to this level, building, building more support here. Excuse me, guys, building more support here, and then it's gonna take off. And I think this is a key level because even if you go back, you know, to the 70s or 80s, I mean, silver definitely peaked out around this level. So I think it has built up enough, or it has made enough touches where it's looking to establish this as the new support. So I definitely think year 2021 is going to be the year of silver going crazy, guys. So I think you are well ahead. If you're not in silver, you better be looking for it, and you better be patient because it is here. It is here. And so it is here. And so just be careful. Wait for our pullbacks. Those are also great buying opportunities. Or if you definitely are not afraid of the risk, then you can go ahead and buy and just hold it. I really I am a huge advocate for you owning gold. You own a silver. It's really important for you to own these things. So I would definitely say that. Hold on, let me go back to silver and let's go ahead and kind of narrow down on a smaller time frame so you can kind of see now that we're on a weekly what that looks like. And so we on a daily chart. So you notice here price action is basically tapping this area here, which to me this is going to be the top of the trend zone where we might get a little bit of retracement somewhere along the lines here. And if you're looking at that, give me a second, guys. And if you're looking at that, then I mean we probably see some drag here before taking off again and continue to rise. So just understand this, guys. When it comes to market structure, and if you look at this, I mean some people trade M's and W's. I definitely keep those in perspective. But just understand that nothing rises forever, nothing goes down forever. Expect a retracement. And it's kind of like Bitcoin, and we'll get into that in a few minutes. So this is where I'm seeing. So I think for anybody who is purchasing silver, our next move might be a little bit to the downside before, and then we might get some type of a range, and then we just get another pop into the market, just because a lot of people are FOMO, fearing of missing out, hopping into enter into silver positions based on this massive move that excuse me this massive move right here that just occurred, guys. Let me take some of this off. I know it's probably getting a little noisy here. um let's see here, take some of this off. It's kind of getting a little bit noisy. So I mean, you see where we are, so I think that's just where we're going to be. We're going to see just a little bit more selling here before, giving us a little range before possibly taking off to the upside, or possibly giving us a range here and coming and back to the zone here before taking back off. So I think that's a good thing to keep into perspective as you continue to look at trading silver. And guys who don't trade silver, then this is what we're looking for. And so price action, excuse me, is not going to give us this level, because this is clearly a level that has now built. When you're looking at trading, we could easily get something like this, test this level, and back up to the upside. So that's what I'm saying for silver. Again, I'm just all bullish silver because I think that this is the year that silver just breaks out. Um, Now let's go ahead and go into the US 30. I was in the US 30. So guys, typically when I'm trading the US 30, I'm always looking for like major corrections into the financial market. And I don't look at those as bad things. I look at these as phenomenal opportunities for me to buy. I look for these to correct on a massive scale. And so if you're looking at, let me stop using these. It's a little bit kind of getting a little bit aggravating, a little bit. When you're looking at financial charts, okay, you got to be able to see the technicals. And I think here was a great level. And this is why I had marked when I was trading, I was looking for price action to correct from here. And when price action did that, and it did drop a little bit below, I was able to place my entry somewhere along here when I saw that price action was respecting this area here. Because it was basically previous resistance, became now support. So I think now we just on our way back to the upside. Only because the US 30, guys, you got to understand with all these different huge companies that are domestic, you the government is looking to continue to understand, or we have been conditioned that if the stock market is bullish, that is good for the markets, and so that is good for the economy. Even though our economy is in free fall, even though they are printing on a massive scale, even though they're writing checks of stimulus, I mean, people are still losing jobs. I mean, hundreds and thousands of people are still filing for unemployment. And so it's really becoming kind of more of a scarce. And I think Biden just said no to that. So that was basically where if people are able to retrieve their jobs back, basically they couldn't continue to file for unemployment. Biden said, no, we got to change this. We got to put in the law. And it's almost, to me, it's like they're trying to have people dependent on the government versus the government used to look to the people through taxes. And so it's just kind of going to be a really dynamic situation to watch. But I am definitely still bullish to US 30 at this particular point in time. I did close my positions, guys. So again, I was able to profit a little bit less than $3,000 between this trade and gold. So I'm waiting at this point for possibly a correction, or it's going to continue to go in this direction, just kind of create like a melt up. Because that's what it just seems like it keeps doing. If you look here, it comes up here, it creates a melt, a melt, or it's like melting up, and it just like flush. And, it just creates these melt up. Excuse me, it melts up. The market melts up, and it flushes. And so that's what I'm kind of looking at. So we might be able to break above this here, and then we'll see like some correction, and it'll break back through and continue on. But I think US 30 is something to definitely watch. If you're looking on a monthly time scale, guys, when we looking at the US 30, I mean, it is just completely out of touch with reality. I mean, the market here, I mean, I don't even know why it's still going up. But when I look at what happened, we got this major sell-off last year. Um, we're just looking for just a bull run, another bull run. They continue to print more money on the massive scale, and so that's why I'm patient. I know what I'm looking for. It's all about the technicals and kind of what you're seeing in terms of strong support and resistance area. Um, but let's go ahead and maneuver to NAS, because I love the NAS as well. NAS is really good, but NAS has been complete out of go. So just a brief history. Um, uh, the Godfather Madoff is the one who created this financial instrument, and he was caught for creating one of the largest Ponzi schemes in the world's ever seen. And so it's kind of crazy because they were the government was seizing his playbook and kind of trying to figure out how he was able to scam billionaires, right? So nobody cares about the little guys like you and I, but when someone of this magnitude starts scamming up billionaires, then it becomes a huge issue. So it kind of puts things in perspective, like who really is benefiting from these type of policies that are being passed by politicians. And so it's just kind of dynamic, but just to seeing what price action is constantly going up, guys, I gotta be completely honest. I mean, this is just completely out of reality. And so I think at this point, I'm bullish to market. I am. I'm not looking to hold these positions when it comes to the U.S. market. When it comes to US 30 or the NAS, I'm not looking to hold these forever. I'm looking for a correction and to capitalize off that correction, and then we continue to go up into the in the bullish market. and then we get another correction. And guess what? I'll be looking to possibly buy then, but I don't just buy based on when price action has fallen. I mean, I look for strong areas, guys, where it was once support or once resistance. And then I kind of look at the technicals of that. And then I will analyze trades based on that. Now, I do use a couple moving averages, which you and we'll really go through that right now. But right now, I just kind of want to show you some setups I'm looking at in terms of next week. So I think we might get a little bit more rise, a little bit, and possibly a little correction. But again, because the market's been going up, you just want to be patient. It's already been going on 1, 2, had a down day, 3, 4. So out of the last 5 days, it's gone up four days. And so even if you zoom in on NAS, you'll see that price action here. It has a level here. So price is basically breaking that, and we could possibly just still going up into like a melt up. So I think NAS is really special. And so just be on the lookout for that, guys, because I think a correction is still imminent to come. So if you want to know where I'm going, I'm pretty much bullish the U.S. market at this point, because regardless if our economy is in free fall, they're still going to print money. The Democrats control the U.S. Senate, they control the U.S. Congress, they can control the presidency, and so I'm just bullish. I mean, it is what it is at this point. Now, guys, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take a little break here, and then we'll come back and kind of look at XRP. And I just need a quick break, so kind of eat me a salad. So give me 1 second. All right, guys, we're gonna pick it back up for where we were. Excuse me. Where we were in terms of this channel. So, guys, looking at XRP, it's crazy because I had thousands and thousands of XRPs, actually, shares of XRP, and I sold all of mine at 69 cents. And I did that because, XRP was rallying off of, excuse me, old information. And the information pertaining to is the merging of XRP and Bank of America using its process systems. Guys, anytime we're an asset or in a cryptocurrency, or usually whereas other assets are rallying off of old information, I treat that as if there's nothing left in the tank. And so they're just looking for a final push before they really make the move that they're trying to make. And so to put this in perspective, I looked and I saw that price action had come to this level here, and back in like 2018, it was 2018, excuse me, not 2017. And that's where I was like, okay, I see price action has come off that high significantly. Came back, and so I was just like, okay, it's not really, the technicals aren't really looking too good. And so I dumped all my shares of XRP, thousands and thousands of coins. And so price action within a matter of a couple weeks did slide to the downside more aggressively. Excuse me. And it was really because of because there was a SEC where they was trying to sue them for being a security, but not registering as a security. So that's pretty huge, guys. When you get on the bad side of the government, they will take you under until you compromise. Now, will we know what that compromise is? Absolutely not. I also own Stellar. So as I continue to hold my Stellar Lumens, that started to rally. And then I dumped all my shares in that. And so I definitely believe in booking profits. So just to show you where we are now, clearly price action has given us a nice little wick here to the upside. So to show you where we are with XRP, now we're looking on a daily, so some of you all can relate to that. Price is in no man's land. So I'm hoping to see price action either do one or two things. Either price action is going to come back to this zone, which if it's respecting this area, guys, I don't know how many touches, we're going to need, in order to realize that this could potentially give us some bullish momentum. I definitely think that, with XRP is definitely going to be released from the SEC filings. And I think one of the biggest reasons why, and it's just speculating, guys, I think that the government is trying to use XRP just because how the infrastructure is put into place with faster payments. And I think our government really wants to use it. And so they do this through a form of control by what they're doing right now, right? They'll try to shame it, then they'll take it over and get it basically pennies on a dollar. So right now I'm hoping to see that price action gives us a little bit momentum here. Hold on, give me 1 second here. Based on where we are, excuse me, where we are here, price action could easily come back, try this level before pulling off to the downside. And that's what I'm hoping to see happen in this trade, just because of this long stop hunt to the upside, guys. So you really got to be careful with that. I mean, that was just them coming back, tapping this area, catching people into a buy, and then pulling off. I mean, this is just pure manipulation. And while they're up under this SEC filing, I would just really recommend anyone to stay away from trading it, unless you're just gonna plain outright just own the shares. There's a lot of unknown around XRP. I definitely think XRP is one of the better cryptocurrencies out there just because of the infrastructure they have in place. They're trying to replace the SWIFT payments. And so that's actually pretty huge because, I mean, SWIFT is used on a global scale. So they actually are able to process their money a lot quicker than SWIFT, which is great. And so if you guys want to know my take on it, I would just really be kind of staying away for XRP right now. I'm not looking to really trade it just because there's a lot of unknown and things that are going on behind the scenes that we just cannot detect. No matter how much we want to speculate on it, we just have no idea of the future for XRP. But I definitely think that the government is trying to get it on pennies of a dollar. And so let's go ahead and maneuver to Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is so dynamic, guys, because I told you guys, we got a little, I told you guys that Bitcoin is going higher. It was like around here. So here I said Bitcoin is going higher. It went higher and then we got this sell-off. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. But I still continue to be an advocate for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going much higher. And when you really look at the technicals of Bitcoin and kind of what's happening here, for one, Biden's cabinet don't like Bitcoin. Make no mistake about it, right? Let's be honest. His base is not Bitcoin friendly. So when you look at these areas, I mean, yeah, we could be guys getting another sell-off, where Bitcoin could tank, especially if there's a crash. So usually what you'll notice based on quarters, we get like updates, how the markets are doing, how the economy is doing. So you have, of course, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. I am really thinking that we're going to possibly see some retracement within the second and third quarter, only because you cannot continue to keep the economy under pressure. No jobs, printing money, no productivity, and interest rates are going negative, and thinking that we're going to continue to stay in this rise in the market. So I definitely think that a lot of the big money guys possibly trying to flee out, but I also do believe that there's a lot of big guys who are in Bitcoin, hedge funds, financial institutions, and they don't want it to go down unless there's a lot of uncertainty about the regulation of Bitcoin. And this is huge because if they're going to put a lot of regulation in place for Bitcoin, usually for something to really be bullish or have a bullish outlook, you're looking for deregulation, right? And so we're looking for deregulation in order to get Bitcoin to continue to rise. But I definitely think, again, we're in a great position. So let's just go ahead and zoom down on a 4-hour chart. I know I haven't really done that, so you all can get a closer look at where we are. So price action is actually consolidating, so you can get a strong area of support here. And so, yes, Bitcoin potentially could be falling off this high, which will ultimately give us, give me a second. So something like this, so we could be seeing a head and shoulder pattern somewhere in this line here, which is going to give us, excuse me, which is going to give us the technical outlook that basically is just going to sell off. So come back to this 30,000 level, build up support here, and then possibly come back and break this level, especially if Biden is able to get this $1.9 trillion passed. And so I definitely do believe that they're trying to strengthen the dollar in order to issue out this $1,400 so people can actually have more to things to buy with their money, right? What any good is it going to do if the $1,400 we get and the value of the dollar is at 0.88 cents or whatever, right? So it's really not great because you're not able to really buy a lot of things with that, especially if the dollar keeps on tanking. So I think as far as the DXY is concerned, the dollar is concerned, expect to see possibly some more bullish momentum in the dollar, and possibly that's going to drop Bitcoin, but keep it in a nice range here, and then it's going to build up some support and resistance. Possibly we look into a bullish, especially if they looking to pass more stimulus. So, guys, I'm gonna tell you this, and like I told like I tell any of my students, when we're looking at the U.S. dollar, the DXY, we're looking at more stimulus. We are looking at more debt, and so when you see hard assets or risky assets like Bitcoin or like any asset that's actually betting against the dollar, when it falls, then we possibly looking for a bull run. And so I would just say keep your eyes off the 30-year treasury yield. Keep your eyes on the DXY. This is really important because this is also going to let us know what's going to happen with gold. But I've learned over this past year, it doesn't matter if the dollar is tanking or going up. I mean, the gold is gonna burst through price. It's just a matter of us being patient. And guys, I like trading every day. I mean, it's fine. I don't trade every day because I think that the market gives us a couple moves per currency pair per week, and so you don't get a move every single day. I mean, that means you're chasing the market. You really just have to know what you're looking for. We again, I'm gonna teach you guys when we do our analysis, and we're gonna go more in depth in terms of when to buy, what levels to buy, stuff like that. But this is definitely a warm up for you all. But we're looking for a strong support and resistant zones, key areas, guys. I mean, this is huge, and it's huge because um, this is where we need to see price build up before possibly taking off to the upside. And so, the next video is what we're gonna go over. We're gonna go over some trends, trend zones in terms of how price is respecting certain key level areas. And I mean, you can see it here. It's in the writing. What I'm looking for. So I can just do this, guys, without even really blinking twice, knowing what to put. It just absolutely makes sense. Come back, make some type of possible head and shoulder pattern here just because of the sharp pull off here. It gave us a railroad track here. And so you just got to be careful. This is usually a reversal, a pattern, possibly, especially when it's coming out the high. So I have a concept. It takes two to higher, three to fire. And technically, this would have been one, this would have been two, and this is our third move possibly to the downside. So same thing here. You get one, you get two, and you just fire because of this nice little wick, but it came back to retest, and you would have been a profit. Took a little steam, but two to higher, three to fire. So let's just be patient with Bitcoin. We've had a tremendous run. Don't be scared. Just know that they're going to print more money. There's going to be more stimulus. The economy is already doing terrible. So just know that this is what we're waiting on. And we're on a 4-hour chart. So I think that we're possibly going to get a continuous sell back off to the downside just because of the bull run that has happened since around January 21st. It's been a quite bullish run. So now it's just looking to slightly correct. And if you look here, guys, excuse me, this is on the 4th. to approximately about, hold on 1 second so we can see that, to approximately around the 9th. So you look here, this is the 27th of January, approximately to February 6th. So I think the market's just looking to give us some type of correction. A lot of people who have been trading probably looking to think it's going to pop up some more. I definitely do have Bitcoin going to $50,000 this year. And so will it surpass it? I mean, we will see. But that's just my technicals when I'm looking at in terms of and I'm factoring in the money printing, I'm factoring in the monetary policy, the monetary modern theory, and I'm looking at what is Congress and the Senate and the president of the United States are passing. And so that's what I'm looking at. I think it's very important for us to understand what's going on. So if you want to make money, guys, continue to follow me, continue to tune into these and that live analysis so you can see exactly what's happening. So let's go ahead and move on to Stellar. So I'm a huge fan of Stellar. Guys, I think I've told you that already multiple times. And I'm a huge fan of Stellar because Stellar is actually the competitor for XRP. Now, you might have, of course, a couple other companies who might consider themselves as XRP's competitor. But when you look at what's been happening, what Stellar's been making some bullish moves. And so when you look at here, even from a technical analysis, guys, again, I mark up on a higher time frame. So I'm a top-down trader, but I look at the monthly first always. And you look here and you see where we've been. Okay, you see where we've been. All right, you see where we've been. And then you see the analysis where we're going. Now you come over here, you draw, okay, this has been a pretty touchy level here. Price action is basically throwing a wick to this level here. What's happening, right? So I think a lot of people have just stopped trading XRP, not fully, but a lot of them have, and they're looking at moving their money into the competitor, and that's exactly what's happening. And so you see price action has just been having this bullish run, and I don't think it's done. I think we're at least going to come to somewhere around this level. So if you're looking to buy XRP, not XRP, but Stellar, guys, I recommend it. I mean, I'm not telling you what to hop in or what to do again. Let's consult with a broker, but this will be the next level to exit the position around 53 cents or so. To see what price action gonna do now. If XRP is still in this SEC battle, I definitely do think that it could potentially go higher, and we could potentially be looking back around somewhere. This would be the next level, basically, somewhere around here, and 67 cents, 70 cents or so. So again, a lot of this depends on how XRP comes out with this SEC filing. So let's go ahead and zone down just a little bit just so you can kind of get a closer look. So we're on a daily right now. And even if you look at the technicals here, we can do a nice little trend zone here, not trend zone, but trend line here. And we just basically boxing in price. And when we see it going, let me kind of zoom out a little bit. And so you'll see here, I mean, this is where we are. So a nice possible uptrend to the upside with this pair. So I think there's still a lot of momentum. So we might get a retouch somewhere along here before it possibly give us another pullback to this line. So again, I'm bullish Stellar, guys. I'm bullish. I think it's phenomenal. Let's go ahead and look down on the hour 4 chart and get more of an intraday position. So again, I think that price action is basically pivoting from this level here. It has pivot from this level here, broke above it, and possibly just on its way to the upside. I mean, it just looks clean as day to me. And so if you guys really liking what you're seeing, I think this nice correction here that was well put. It definitely gave us some bullish momentum here in terms of what we were seeing happen. So you notice price action was really testing this area before having another break. And so I think we're at a good position to continue a bull run. So that's what I'm looking for XRP. Now, let's go ahead and go over, again, we're top-down analysis. We're going to go over some JBP, JPY when it comes to trades and what we're looking for possibly to enter into the market. So, guys, so let me say this. When it comes to the economy, I definitely believe that, give me a second, guys, getting a message. When it comes to the international markets, this is so huge, guys. This is so huge because when it comes to trading, when you look at even the currencies in the early 2000s, the international markets was killing it. I mean, I'm talking absolute killing the market, killing the dollar. And the dollar was on a decline. And then after the Great Recession, where the Fed introduced, more, Bush introduced bailouts. Bernanke was the Fed chairman at the time. Paulson from Goldman Sachs was the U.S. Treasury. He was George Bush U.S. Treasury at the time. And so they did a lot of things to impact monetary policy to basically try to prevent things happening with the Great Depression. Now, before I go into this pair, all right, we're going to come back to JBP because this is really important. I got to cover this. Guys, back before the Great Depression, it's like a few years, I think it was like 1927 or so, 1926, they were having people to turn in their gold. I think this is extremely important for you to know. And so what was happening was they then, once everyone had to turn in their gold, they tried to raise the price of gold or keep the price of gold down. That is what made the Great Depression so great. It's because, see, we were technically on a gold standard. So when you look at when you look at the dollar, you and they was trying to, and it's very unique, guys. And this is the reason I'm pointing this out, because even if you look at JP Morgan, they're rigging the metals market. And so what we cannot do is try to compress the price of gold and then continue to inflate on a massive scale. Like, you just cannot do that. That's what made the Great Recession so great. People couldn't even go to the banks and pull out their capital. And so this is one of the things that are unique. So that's why when I tell you all be patient, another bull run for gold is coming, and it's going to be massive as well. Just be patient and know it is coming. The bull run started in 2019. Now, usually when a bull run runs, I mean, it'll usually run for about, 5 to 6 years on average. And so I think we're destined, guys, we're just in the beginning of this bull run. And so we got to get some type of retracement to set people. And so when you look at them printing on a massive scale, you're looking at JP Morgan is basically rigging the metals market. I mean, we are doomed for a nightmare. But one of the things that's happening with the Fed, right, with Jay Powell, is that he's actually buying up everything. So he's trying to keep prices low. That's what they're doing. They believe that inflation is going to help us. But see, what happens is inflation goes into asset prices. So people who are richer already becomes even more richer. People are poor become even more poor because of the gap between the rich and the poor is just widens, right? A huge transfer of wealth. And so a lot of people don't know what this means. So what this means is, let's say you are a middle class person, or let's not even use middle class. Let's say you're a lower class person, and maybe you make under $20,000, or let's say $25,000, right? Because that's technically lower class. Then what happens is you're not able to afford the luxury to be able to invest in stocks and stuff like that, right? And if you do, it's probably in your 401k. And even with that, you're probably not even doing that because you barely making enough money to stay afloat. So what happens is, when they print money, you pay for it through taxes, and we pay for it through inflation. And what that does is, the money that you do have to buy groceries, that causes prices to go up more. So imagine this. Your income, $25,000 stays the same. Okay. Everything else around you is going up. Housing, utilities, groceries, right? Meanwhile, a lot of the inflation is actually inflating asset prices. And so it's blowing up a bigger balloon, which is allowing wealthier people who have the luxury to invest in stocks, investments, real estate. It allows to the devaluation of the currency, which allows for basically the more money you need will put more money into their bank account. And so what I'm saying is in simple terms, okay, I try to simplify this as one, two step as possible, but basically they just push up prices in the stock market. And so people, let's say somebody on, I don't know, let me give an example. Let's say a person owns, I'm just giving you an example, okay? Let's say a person owns 10,000, let's say US30 or whatever the case is, right? So let's say they bought in at 10,000 the price, right? So they basically, let's just say hypothetically that will cost $100 million. Well, when you look at where price is now, let's say price is now at 30,000, that's $20,000 that they are adding per share to their wealth. So if they have 10,000, right? Then they just added 200 million. So this is just easy math to show you like what's happening here. And so now instead of having 10,000, they have, 10,000 that equals 30,000, which gives them basically 300,000, 300 million. And so I think it's really important because you see a lot of people who don't have the luxury to do these things, can't afford to do these things, can't even think about, like J Powell was saying, investing, they lose out on becoming rich. So that's important. But back to GBPJPY. So transitioning back to this pair is very important because, again, I mentioned earlier that the dollar was getting killed in the early of 2010. And so when you look at now, even in the last decade, the dollar has been on this magnificent bull run, while the other international markets have declined tremendously. And so when you look at this next decade, I foresee the international markets are taking off on a massive scale. See, the problem is because the United States have the U.S. world currency. What that has done is that has made us live a privileged life. That has made us look at things a lot different, and that has also helped us continue to take on more debt while the other country bears this burden, right? And so you probably said, Roger, what do you mean? So because we have the world currency and now we're doing socialist ideas, printing money, passing out stimulus checks, buying up everything, what that does is it allows it allows us to basically send our inflation throughout the world. Okay, especially when you look at exports, imports. So let me break this down in simple terms so you really can follow me with what I'm saying. So because the rest of the world has already been hurting financially, we have basically lived the luxury of and benefited because we operate on the one reserve currency. And so even though other states, other countries might want to print money for their citizens, they just can't afford to do that. But because we have the world currency, we can do that. We can do that. And so now I think we are in a lot of pain, and clearly sending out stimulus checks is really showing. I think the next 10 years, the international markets are going to have a boom out this world. So some of the pairs that I'm trading, of course, is GBP pairs, because if you look at the technicals here, I foresee, a massive run. I mean, I really foresee this. And I've been pointing this out as well. I think I had sent this out to some other students a few weeks ago, and 2 weeks and last week, excuse me. I foresee this happening. This is it. This is going to be a nice bull run for JBP pairs, and the dollar's going to get slaughtered because the U.S. economy has not felt the wrath of the consequences of our failed policies. And so, yes, when I zoom down, I am bullish JBP pound. It is on and popping like pop rocks, my guys and ladies. It is on. And so if you are trading JBP pairs, just know that we're bullish. Now we might see possibly a test to this level here, um, but hey, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. It's slight pullback, but the damage is done. The damage is done. The damage is done. The international market is about to start winning. So if you guys wonder how I line my portfolio, I'm investing in international stocks. I'm investing in international currencies. I'm investing in, just internationally. I do invest in some things domestically, like BlackRock. I think they're pretty good. But I believe that you should own gold. I believe you should own silver. I believe you should look at foreign assets as well, foreign currencies, and get out of the dollar. The dollar is going through a lot right now, and a lot of people are in denial about that. And I think as we continue to be in denial about that, the more we hurt ourselves. So I'm really excited to see what happens. And if you look here, this is basically a up run. And so I think potentially, that's why I think potentially we're going to get a break, possibly a break here, and just kind of on a massive scale to the upside. So if you're looking at from a intraday side, guys, I think it's very important that we possibly are, we had a nice little bull run here. We got to at least come back to this level here. It's just basically been respecting it. So if the dollar or the yen gains some strength, then we should see something along these lines here, and possibly a break here, or possibly a straight away through the downside, testing this key trend line here. Yeah, I don't think I have any more questions on this as of now. But if you want a closer look in the technicals, we can look here. Price action has definitely broke here, uses as resistance. A straightaway here. If you want to, sorry, hold on, give me a second. If you want to, come on. If you want to look here, it created a nice false trend and it broke straight through. No cares in the world. Guys, if you notice, I want to know how I put my trend zones or trend lines. I always do it to the body of the candle. I usually don't really count the wick because the wick really doesn't matter to me, because to me it's just a graph. But the body is what really, where price action closed is what's phenomenal. So when you saw this, it got a nice bullish up run. We could be still on our way, but I think it'll probably come back and use this as to me, this is going to be the retest somewhere possibly along here if we're looking for a more of an intraday setup here. Possibly, definitely intraday setup. So this is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm seeing, guys, before taking off. I hope that answers your questions. But I always, guys, if you notice, if I'm going to trade intraday, I'm always looking for pullbacks. I can show you these things time and time again in the market. Always look for pullbacks. If you want to be safe, if you want to watch trades, always wait for a pullback. A pullback always happens. Seriously. It always happens. And so, it's not like you're missing anything. I don't think you're missing, what's happening. Just wait for a pullback. So because where we are right now with price action, there are a lot of uncertainties, in terms of what a market is. Pullback. I mean, I keep going on and on again, but just wait for a pullback, guys. Don't buy into these bullish pushes. Don't do it. Stuff like this happens and it just takes away from you. So just wait for the nice little pullback. Excuse me. Just wait for a nice little pullback. Once we get a pullback, guess what? We'll be sending out. We'll be doing these videos quite few, and we're looking for another run. That's it. And then we get another run. That's how it is, man. So don't. It's two things can happen. Like I said, this is more of an intraday move. This is more of a long-term view move, guys. I'm not a 1-2 punch trader. Like, that's just not my style. So that's your style, then I'm not the one for you. But I'll definitely look at smaller time frames to see to go over what I see, do everything based on strong support, strong resistance zones, and trend lines. And then we're going to incorporate moving averages real soon. I just don't really want to overwhelm you all with trades. I think as long as we keep clean charts, things are much cleaner. You can actually see what price action is doing in terms of the manipulation. But let's go ahead and move on to GA. So, all right, with GA, guys, again, we're starting from the top. GA, we're seeing, again, another pair, guys. Well, you look at this past decade, I mean, they've been getting killed. So they had a nice little run because the Australian dollar is what pushed it. But again, back to those same levels. And you look here, what's been happening, on a decline. I mean, but people know this is what happened through the great Great Recession. So not recession, but the Great Recession, excuse me. Why is it not doing that? All right. So I'm marking my sticks here, kind of what I'm looking at. Don't really need much here because price action kind of broke above that. So that wasn't really that much important, but it came back to retest this level. So that's why this level is so important. Price action did break through this here, came up to form this here. So I see the next push, and it's somewhere along here only because of what price action did here. So it came off that high. So now we zoom down on the weekly, we get pretty much a range in market for the most part. And so I don't see why price action, so a bull run to go something like this, and then don't even touch that and come back here. So, kind of go stagnant just a little bit, build up some momentum before coming back to retest, or even something along those lines where it's like a slow build up, where you don't really get kind of definite buy into the currency markets. But let's just kind of go down a little bit further just to kind of look at price action from the daily. Excuse me, guys. Let me go ahead and delete this. So when I'm looking at trades, guys, I see this key area here. So let me not get ahead of myself. So let me tell you guys what I do. So of course I see this level here. I'm coming here, seeing price action, respecting it. Let me bring it here because it came back to retest before really taking off. And I use this as a key level here. Guys, this is really important how I'm breaking this down. So everything I do is I try to be consistent. I usually don't use trend lines. I usually use trend zones. So for this purpose, I got to use it because I think trend zones give you a little bit more wider and coverage in terms of how to cover a position or trade. So as you can see, so price action has pretty much, even through 2017, 2018, 2019, possibly peaking out, it has given you multiple touches here, guys. Really important. Really important. Testing this area multiple times before making the final push to the top, which is giving you this stop here. And so this is important, guys, because even when I look left, so I believe in looking left, I mean, you see that price action has still been testing around this area. And so before giving you another peak. So I think with price action falling below here, I wouldn't be more. I'm looking more of a push to the downside this way, where it's kind of still respecting this area and coming back to the zone here before taking off, on a massive scale. It all depends on what's going on with the Australian dollar. I know they're really, really, they're a good country because they're looking at finding ways to take more taxes for people. So, of course, to help uh, their currency to appreciate. So that's going to be a battle between that. But we'll continue to look at these. I'm going to zoom down on a smaller time frame just to show you. And this is where we are. We done pretty much fell through this area, got a retest here in this level here, November 20. And we just kind of pretty much been here. And now coming back possibly to retest this area here. And so I think this is an area somewhere along here. This is an area to keep in mind. Depending on how price action does, it can come back here and we can get a test and a spike up, or we can come back here, we can fall back to what I was looking for. So I think it's very important to keep your eyes on GA. Definitely GJ. GJ is definitely, it's money right now. So let's go ahead and zoom out on a monthly time frame, guys. We're looking now at JBP Swishy. So again, guys, I can do this all day long, go over these pairs because I love trading so much and I really want y'all to make money. I really do. So kind of going into here, let's see here. So, now we're at a level where price action has basically become a little stagnant a little bit, where we got this right here and we're back at this level. So I'm expecting a break. It's clearly respecting this area. I don't really foresee the JBP just falling through the roof here. I think we're just gonna get a massive, again, this is one of those pairs where I think we're just gonna have a massive bull run. This is gonna be phenomenal because now before we get the bull run, of course, we might get some range in here, right? Some range in here. So I think this area right here is a key level. So whether we get it here or whether we get it over here, it's still a way to just keep your eyes on this. Just keep your eyes on it. That's all I really say. Whether we get it here or price action, basically, hold on, give me a second here. Or price action either do something along the lines here and give us a break, or price action decides to come back down, test this area, and then break as well. So I think we just got to be patient, guys. There's a lot that's coming out. I know that seemed a little far off, 2027, but when you're trading and you want to change your life now, you got to be looking at these pairs. You got to be looking what's happening, what's going on, what are the technicals saying. But I think we're looking more of somewhere along the lines of here, even if we just get a straightaway, because at this point, price action is already at this level. So we could easily get, a bull run on up from here. So I think now this is perfect. This is perfect. This is extremely perfect. This is perfect. So I think this is a really good setup, something to look out for. If you definitely trade in the international markets and you like how aggressive the British pound is, this is a move to watch. To me, this is bullish. This is all bullish. I don't see why no one is not even really looking at it. This is bullish. It doesn't really have much to go. It's been going down for so long and it's coming at that pivotal point. And usually this is when you see price actions when they get close, close to this wedge here. It's I don't really see why you wouldn't be looking to buy into this awesome market, because it's giving you multiple touches and it's also thrown this nice little aggressive wick down here and aggressively move back up to show that they basically grabbed what it needed. So I'm bullish this pair as well. Let's go ahead and look at the peso. Peso. So a lot has happened with the peso, guys. In terms of trying to be backed by the dollar. I mean, just a lot has happened. I mean, they had a pretty crazy year, slipped into recession, but pretty much everybody has. Um, and so I'm looking on a monthly scale. Honestly, guys, the technicals aren't really telling me a lot, and it needs to tell me something in order for me to be able to get into this position. So um, I think it's really important. Let's zoom down now. See, we're not really, it's not a lot going on here. I don't think it's doing what it needs to do for me to even consider even getting into this market. Just because of the sharp pull off, and the range is not that big for me. I mean, again, I'm not even gonna really waste my time on this one, guys. If you're looking to trade this pair, then by all means, but I will right now. I mean, it's ranging. We have a good little market here, and so you could see the continuation of the push to the downside. Excuse me, the push to the downside. And so I think this is still good. If you're looking to trade the peso longer term, this is a key area here. We notice here. I believe in trading is you should always look left, guys, to see what's happening with price action. And it gives you more details when you're able to see the full picture. So, yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a sell, definitely, I'll probably be looking for a sell in the peso. I don't really trade the peso like that unless I get really, really, really great setups, and because um, the spread is a lot. So, you gotta be real careful. You can't just be trading this every single day if you're not really intentional about making money. All right, let's go ahead and look at the EURUSD. So definitely kind of crazy spike here, going back 2004. So let's see here, guys. Clone. So if you want, I'm just basically finding what price action is. Price action is right here. So remember, if you took my course, if you didn't take my course, I believe in having three really areas of support and resistance. I mean, I don't think a person really needs that much. It shouldn't be get to the point where you can't even see price action, and usually it just becomes unbearable at that point. And so that's giving me a good level of price action is touch, spike through, come all the way back down, respect, fall, break through, respect, kind of. See, this is a key level. This is a good key level here. This is a good level here. And so with the EURUSD, I'm curious to see what happens with this pair, guys. I got to be completely honest with you. Hold on, I'm trying to get down. So if we looking for intraday setups, I think I want to be able to see. So let's go ahead based on here from here. So you can clearly see this here, right? Um, so I mean, if I know better, and I only say this because I mean clearly, I mean it's not strong enough. It's not strong enough. I mean, we possibly can get a break back down here. If because I can zoom back out, or we could possibly get something along here. So I mean, this would be ideal to see only because of this, guys. So I mean, you notice when I do things, I'm not doing it for my own health. There's actually a purpose and why I'm marking this certain area up here, so we can see, price action do something along these lines here, and just respect it going back up to the top, which this is could be a long-term view too, depending on how you're looking at the markets. Let me zoom out, guys, on the daily because it's not able to really do what I'm trying to do, and back to this level here. So I mean, you can easily get, and then something along those lines here. You know, because it's the same stuff that usually happen. You know, and then come back, maybe test this level here, depending on the year. So I mean, I'm looking out for our scale, guys, but it's all market structure, it's all BS. Like, you got to know that this is what's happening. So I'm not gonna say just that, but as far as my immediate view, we can either get a push back to the downside, because again, I mean, this is a nice level because it has tested this level, broken this level, tested this level, and spiked up. So to me, this is a key level. So either we're going to get a break up, or we're going to get a break to the downside, or we can just absolutely get a false move to the downside. A false move to the downside, and then it can break back above and go this way. So we're going to continue to monitor this trade. I think this is going to be a nice little setup for us if we can just kind of see what happens with price action, if it respects this trend line here, comes back, retests, or fall through the floor. So again, we don't just enter into trades based on just only these two confirmations, but this is definitely going to be something we add to our watch list. So I'll make sure I put that there. Come on. All right. That's getting on my nerves. All right, guys. So hold on, give me a second. When it comes, what are you doing? Hold on, guys. All right. So when it comes to price action, again, we're looking at where are we, right? So looking at today, I need to clear this chart, guys. I'll be doing like a lot of stuff on these things. So we'll draw. So give me a clean chart. So we on a monthly, you know, I'm a top-down trader. Guys, thank you. If y'all are bearing patient with me through this video, I really appreciate it. I just really want to get y'all a lot of value because I don't know what you all trade. And so I'm eventually start doing more live and then just go based on what you all want me to look at. And then we'll just take a look at it from there. But you look here, to me, this is a strong level here based on price action. Many touches broke it, definitely came back, retested here, play with this area, retest it, drop, retest, drop. So to me, this is a key level. So I don't really need too many levels from that aspect. So we're gonna go ahead and kind of zoom down on timeline. So you see that price action has come to this level, respect it, come to this level, respect it, respect it, respect it. You know, and so it's a good area. It's a good area. We look left, we already see what that looks like. And so, yes, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see price action kind of doing them back down here before possibly taking off to the upside. That's just something I'm kind of looking at. I would like to see. And to me, when I look at these, I would really like to see a triple bottom. So again, this is a long-term view. Clearly, this is the weekly, guys. So we'll zoom down on the smaller time frame to see what that looks like right now. So let's go ahead and go on the daily. So again, everything is based on a couple things I look at. So I look at strong support and resistance zones. Of course, guys, we can do this all day. I mean, it doesn't change for me, guys. It's still the same thing for me. And so even when I'm looking at my pairs, like I'm doing the same thing, guys. Imagine that. So I get you one like, oh, what was he doing? Like, why was that? You know, when you look at this, it gives you the clean sweep. Now, ironically, that did line up perfectly, but in my mind, I saw this line, so that's how I was able to come back and draw this level here. And so to me, it's just the same exact thing. A lot of times markets get into these ranging markets and, you know, you're looking, I'm not saying the same thing happens every time, but what I am saying is that it's important that we keep these things in perspective, you know, and so we're looking for a nice sell. So I think we're going to see immediately a nice little pullback from here. And you might be wondering, well, why are you seeing that? Well, see, for one, we're in an uptrend, right? Well, it's a sideways market. And so when you look here, price action has made numerous touches here, here, here. You know, you got all this right here, here, here. And so I would be a fool not to believe that price action was at least going to give me another test back. I mean, this is basically a triple. Well, actually, this is a head and shoulder pattern. So, so I'm not saying it always happened this way and it's right every single time, but it's definitely something to look out for when you're looking to, you know, make a particular move. And so that's who I am with this pair. I think we're looking to see a push, I mean, a sell off somewhere along this lines. It's just too many touches. I think it's giving us an opportunity to enter this position. So, guys, I am definitely bullish on EJ. So be on the lookout for us to continue to monitor that. I'm hoping that we'll see some type of sell off this week coming up or the next 2 weeks. So let's go ahead and move to our next pair. Wow, guys, we're flying through this. It's pretty good. So we're going to look at AJ. Let me go ahead and erase this stuff. Drawings. All right, when it comes to AJ, all right, give me some second, guys. After this pair, I'm going to take a quick little break, and then I'll come back to you all, and then we'll kind of finish looking at the pairs. I mean, this is really time-consuming, guys. Really thirsty. I'll give me some more water. So let's go ahead and zoom in. So again, we always start from top down. All right. So looking at even where the market's come here, it's come to this level. And so how do I draw my support zones? I mean, I'm looking for key level areas. So to me, this is major right here. So why? It's because it's what price action went down. So it was just like, to me, only trying to create it grabbed what it needed. And then when it was kind of want to start going up, it aggressively went through it. So here it's going to be a good level for me in terms of this strong area here. So that's what I'm looking at. And then if I'm looking at price action here, looking at price action here, guys. I'm looking somewhere along these lines. So if you see where price action has respected this area, and this is where we're going, guys. I can't make it up. I can't make it up. This looks really good, extremely good, actually. So even if I come here, go back to the trend zone just to show you, like, we keep it consistent here, guys. Like, it's no tricks, it's no gimmicks. This is for real. Like, trade this way for real, consistency. And I think one of the biggest problems that traders have is that they don't have any consistent set of rules. You notice I stick and I trade the same way regardless. And this is what I'm looking for. And so, you know, I come here, this level, cool beans, bring it here, this level, cool beans. So, I mean, honestly, I mean, we've got a break now. So, I mean, it's, to me, at this point, guys, we're on the way. We're on the way. We're on the way. You know, and again, it's over and over again. So I think this is definitely bullish. We could see some type of retracement here. Retracement at this level here. Hold on. To come back and give us a slight retest, because this is where the last time the market pivoted from. So I think we might see something along these lines here, and then just get an aggressive bull run. But let's zone down on a small time frames, guy. Again, this is the monthly. I trade higher time frames because I just get better setups, but I do find my entries and on the daily and on a 4-hour chart. So we're looking at the weekly. Everything is pretty much looking pretty good. Let's zoom down a little bit more, just so we can get more of a kind of intraday feel. And if you look here, price action is doing this. I think that we have some slight zone here on the intraday level. And so we could get a couple more touches here before we see some type of sell off, or we can easily get something along these lines, triple top or something along those lines, or a little off like this and come back and then a push to the downside. So this is something I think would be good for us looking at March. And this would line up pretty much with the second and third quarter, the end of the first quarter. So we're looking at those things here. But this is where I am with it, guys. If you're looking more of a closer position, let me zoom in for you guys who might be having some concerns. Again, this is looking very promising, extremely promising. I mean, I think our next move is a sell-off. It's trapping people at this area. So it's been on a nice bull run since the 21st to now the 8th of February or so. I mean, we pretty much been in a slight little range. So I would love to see a push to the downside, but we'll continue to monitor these trades, guys. All right, guys. I'm gonna take a break real fast. I'll be right back, and we'll pick up on GBPUSD. I do again thank you all for checking out this content. Give me 1 second here. I'll be right back shortly. Guys. We're back. We're gonna dive in and pick up on GBPUSD. This is really important just because we're gonna finish some analysis, guys. I mean, we can go through all these pairs all day, but I think I'm gonna stop a few pairs after this one. And then we can just look up things another time. So it's already been over 2 hours. So, but I'm gonna send this one out, and then I just upload another video probably tomorrow, finishing the rest of the pairs. That's gonna be beneficial for you all. But I do thank you for tuning in this long. If you're looking to make money, I just want to help you guys. So let's go ahead and erase this. In case you're seeing all these drawings on here, it's just chart examples, course examples and stuff like that I use for Instagram as well. But so guys, we're looking at top-down analysis. We're going to start with strong support and resistance zones here. So you see that price action has been respecting this level. I mean, it's been in this range since looks like 2016, guys. 2016. So we're really priming for a massive move to the upside. You ask me. I mean, it's been priming for a few years. And so I wouldn't be surprised, guys, if we get another false test here, somewhere along these lines, where you see price action is here. And we basically get a triple bottom or a triple top, or some might even see it as a, hold on, give me a second, inverted head and shoulder pattern. Guys, a lot of these things are already pre-planned, and they're just going based off of structure. So if you look and see what price action has been doing on a month-to-month basis, I think this is really going to give us a nice bias in what it's looking to do from here. Let me get the red color and possibly respect this level here, just because you see this right here. So I think we are prime for a nice bull run. And we should get a strong momentum to break out of this zone here. And again, we're on a monthly chart, guys. And so I'm going to zoom down in a second. Give me a second. Let me grab the trend zone. So where we are, guys, and I see this here. And so it's just, to me, it's just perfect as far as allowing the bullish momentum to just pop through like that. I'm not saying it's going to pop through exactly like that, but to me, this is more of a realistic area. So let's go ahead and zone down on a weekly time frame. I mean, you can see it a little bit more closely. price action is straighten up. To me, it's just trying to change the direction from the downtrend to start an uptrend into the opposite direction. And again, this is lining up perfectly with what I was telling you guys earlier. It's that the international markets are going to boom, and it's against the dollar, and that's why I think is just so perfect. And so we look at from this standpoint. I mean, technically, we already have our inverted head and shoulder pattern right here when you look at it. But I think that it could possibly give us another false move. If not, then we're looking to a nice little bullish move here. This is something we're really going to continue to watch, where it can just go ahead and break through this, because it doesn't really need to come back. I mean, to be completely honest with you, I mean, we could easily get a bullish momentum or a bullish candle to break through this, I mean, as soon as possible. So I think that is more realistic. I would love to see this happen, which it could possibly play out within the next year or two. But guys, again, we are long-term traders. So for those who are not long-term traders, let's just go ahead and zoom down the small time frame and try to help us find an entry. So basically, because price action, give me a second. Let me go back to the weekly because I want to do something real fast. Because price action is giving us this right here, I mean, it's easily, see, it's to me, it's too steep. So it only makes sense to break through this to come back to this zone here. Now, if it does continue to just rise, it doesn't really give it much of an option in terms, because it's not wide enough, but I'm not saying it cannot happen. But this is why, to me, I just got to delete that altogether and stick with this analysis right here. And so if you're looking for a clean trade, I think we have got pretty much a melt up here, right? Because you see a lot of stagnant here. And then we should be getting a sell signal somewhere along in this area right here. So to me, this is an area to watch out for if you're looking for price action to reverse in opposite direction, forming the right side of the inverted shoulder. So yes, so let's see here. Let's go ahead and I hope you all don't have any questions. We'll just zone down just a little bit more. So I mean, yeah, we're pretty much getting close, cutting it close there, just because of the areas here. So if you look here, there's a lot of testing here around this level, a lot of choppiness. So that's why I really, just to me, it makes the most sense to see price action come back in this direction here, where it's going to the downside. So that's pretty much what I would like to see for this pair. This would be a nice setup for JBP US dollar. That give the dollar kind of one more time to run to try to increase itself. To provide more stimulus to the people. Again, Biden and the Fed, they want to strengthen the dollar so people can buy more things with their stimulus. So just keep that in perspective. Let's go ahead and move on to the next pair, which is the Euro USD. We'll start top down. So let's go ahead and clear drawings. Again, I mean, we're kind of in a similar situation with GBP, USD. You see price action that's pretty much come to the zone here and pretty much respected it. And now it's just kind of pretty much ranging a little bit. So where I would like to see this happen is, I mean, you look here, we get this area here. So I'm just going over here by showing what price action is doing. So yeah, that gives us a scenario. So I mean, this could be a really good setup where again, I mean, let me grab trend zone, show you that price action is trend zone, excuse me guys. Again, price action has this area coverage here. And then even when I take it from here to here, right, which it pretty much went straight up, but the more safer zone would have been something along these lines. So I'm curious to see what happens. We might get some type of stall in here, in this area, work his way back, possibly close down and to the opposite direction. So I'm more curious to see what happens here. But if we looking on a monthly time frame, or even let me go ahead and erase this now. I can get a clearer picture. I mean, because it's still about the same analysis. So I mean, I don't see why not. We can see something along these lines. And guys, you'll notice like one of the things I look for when trading is the head and shoulder pattern. And I'm gonna cover that more why later. So you all gonna be able to follow me. I mean, as long as you continue to check out this channel, I'm gonna be teaching you a lot of stuff and the consistencies of our trades. What is it doing? Stop. And so, so when you look at these guys, I mean, it's really important because this is what I see. Okay. And I'm going to continue to go over more information to show you why the criteria is the criteria. If you do not want to wait for me, and you want to learn more about this so you can possibly get this on your own, and of course, you can sign up for the course in the description below, and that'll give you basically a way of being able to see the way we trade and why we trade the way we trade. So I think it's really important, guys, when you looking at price action, don't make it too complicated. A lot of people do that. I don't think you should do that. And so as long as you're keeping everything consistent, you're gonna be fine. But let's move on to USDJPY. This is another good setup, guys. Where we can look and take a look. Okay, so price action, come all the way down to this level here. We've had a spike up, so the US market started doing extremely well. I'm not really seeing any clear, really resistance. I mean, besides this level here, and if I'm coming here, because this is basically what price action is. It's not much going on in terms of down here because we haven't had too many touches. So let's go ahead. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and take a look on a weekly, because I like to basically tailor it as I continue to move down from the highest time frame. And so you see here, this is what price action is. Let's take a look here. Let me close this. So, I mean, we're getting multiple touches. So we do have some good news in terms of what's happening. I mean, you see where price action is basically respecting this level. I mean, it was broken here, of course, but it respected it. It came back, retried it. So to me, this is a really dynamic area of support and resistance where price action is respecting this level here. I mean, guys, I cannot make this up. And you look left, I mean, it's just it's awesome. It's really good. I really would like to see. So we're getting some bullish momentum here, and this is why it's good to be able to zoom down. You start from the top, and then you basically work your way down, because you're able to see things that you couldn't otherwise see if you didn't do so. So I'm going down on a daily time frame. And so, yeah, I think this is all bullish. Bullish. This is bullish, so I'll be looking to enter into the markets because you're still low. Again, guys, I'm looking, and again, we're going to cover this more. You guys are going to be like, wow, man, I love the way this guy trades. And the criteria is there, guys, and we're just waiting on a bullish move, and so it's already happening. So maybe if you want to wait on a pivot, a slight pullback. To me, this is an area I would like to see price action kind of break. It's testing this area because this is the level here. I would like to see price action possibly break through this or test this area, and then I think a good buy would be great because at this point it's bullish. It's bullish from here. I don't see why it wouldn't be. So I would love for this to break this, and I will be looking to enter around uh, this area here. So I think this is Bravo. This is a Bravo setup, guys. Even if you're looking on the daily, I mean, we could easily get intraday level. This is a nice level here. We can get some pullback here, but then back here and above. I mean, this is what I'm kind of seeing here, just structure. If you're looking at the markets, guys, I think this is something to really take a look at because there's so much money here. And I guess you want like, well, how does this guy drop this? Okay, so let me show you. So again, it's all structured, guys, the way I trade. So even if you look at, this right here, you seeing how price action is respecting the zone. So that's all I do, guys. I see it in my head already because I know what I'm looking for. And when you say consistent with this, guys, I mean, all good things are going to happen to you. Things go wrong with people because they're just not consistent traders. And so, I mean, you look here, we're getting touches. So I just would love to see this happen. So I think intraday for UJ, I mean, we're looking into a slight downtrend back to the zone. And then we just basically work our way back to this key level. And at this point, I would love to see price action break this level. So I think that's what I really would love to see. And then, yeah, so that's where we are here. Um, let's move on to UCAD. Um, so UCAD, guys, I think this is going to be the last pair that I do for tonight. Let's look at from the top-down analysis again, guys. I think it's really dynamic it's really awesome when you can start from the top and you work your way back. And so when I look here, this is a strong level here, body to the candlestick, so I don't have to worry about that here. Price action is here. We've gotten a lot of rejection here. So I'm looking to build up this area here because the resistance on the way down and the same resistance on the way over. So give me a second here because we do have some errors and it's spiking and it's coming down. So all right, so let's go ahead and again zoom that down on a weekly so we can kind of tailor this a little bit more. So you look here at these trades. Remember, it takes two to fire, two to fire, three to higher. So even if I'm looking possibly to jump into this opportunity here, I got my two here, period. And so you get, it depends on how you look at it. Some people look at this as on the way down. To me, it's a pivot clearly at this point. And so to me, you getting your touches around here. And so even when you're looking at the financial markets, we draw on the trend zone, guys, the market has basically respected this level. And so, you you just really got to be in a position where, you looking for this. And so I would love to see a break and retest along this line here to be able to follow this down. I think that's what I really would love to see in this area is a break, and retest and then a fall. And then we on this like everything, you know. Um, and let's look down on a smaller time frame. So if you follow me, what I'm saying, a break because it's already showing me that it's giving this right here. So my move should be bullish. It's gonna come back, retest this area, And the only reason I believe short term it'll come back and retest this area is because, again, the dollar needs to be strengthened in order to provide more stimulus. And so this would be really good to see this happen from here, and then possibly some play around here, then a break and retest it on the way back down. Okay, because at that point, the depth of the dollar is still going to continue to spiral. And so this is all the reasons to allow CAD to have a bull run for a little bit. So they basically take turns. Guys, it's been such a phenomenal and I've time and I've enjoyed going over all these different pairs with you. And this is something that I'm going to continue to do for all of you, to help you make money, show you some of the things that I'm seeing. Guys, this is free. So, I want to be able to put you in a position to make money. Again, I will advise you to consult with an advisor if you're looking to trade, if you don't know about trading. Definitely there is risk into these markets. And, Third Eye Traders does not take any profit from you, nor do we guarantee profit or any losses. So, we do thank you so much for checking out our content. And remember, we'll see you on the other side. Until the next trading video.